Seekers, genuine truth.
A bit louder.
I bow to the seekers of genuine truth. Having been talking in the last talks of clearing from attaching false gurus, false masters, through the recycling virtues ones.
I'll take care of you now, instead of later. When I gain those ruby slippers, my power will be the greatest in Oz. And now, my beauty, something with poison in it, I think. With poison in it, but attractive to the eye and soothing to the smell. Copies. Copies will put them to sleep.
So here, the grace of the universal creator's freedom to talk. Protecting one's being with the type of yoga one does, and the type of rituals one's had to do that. I've been in a position to speak through the enlightened, guided masters with one's own experiences, saying that in our environment, the better we practice what we know in our own levels, the freer we are to help clear individuals that are not. Having mentioned the sequences with nature in the past, I never mentioned the colour purple in one of the pigeons. And the ones with the purple on them, they're in a position to, again, that are not really for the table in these shops. They're not eating really. I haven't seen them being eaten by humans. And that's because they have an effect on the way the birds relate to each other. So what I've noticed with the ones that have got a purple around their neck, they're the ones that keep a specific social diplomacy with all the birds. And they're not very common among pigeons in respects to seeing them around. And this is the same level where we are in an environment where we do have individuals like healers that we'd like to have around us more, but they're not really around us that much. That's because to be a healer, you can't be too much attached to the individuals around you, or they're gonna fucking end up killing you because they want you to do all the healing for them. But if you enter into the position of helping to heal people in a specific or nature around you, then there is their respect in the moment that you enter into that frequency with them, because they know that they need it at that moment. But you got to know your boundaries as a healer, and know when you got to enter into a specific level to help people, and then know when you've got to also leave. And you also know and how to protect yourself and not to get tangled up in what other peoples are going through. And here, with respect to the colour purple in relation to nature, that's to me one of the complete picture of some of the categories in nature that people that do eat these pigeons are not aware of, that they've got this community going on around them about the way they are as a collective species. And here, this is again, with respect to contamination in our environment, we do have people that practice rituals that spiritual, historic yoga people practice, but they haven't got them type of real qualities inside them properly with the clear foundations for them to be a clear medium, for them to do these rituals that people that have had a better quality of experience with their meditation or their yoga are in the positions to do. And if you haven't got clear foundations, clear experience of your foundations, then you're not going to be maybe having the type of fragrance, type of vibrance with your words, with what you write, and with what you know. But once you're in a position to be clear with genuine, clear individuals, then your channel will be easier to be practiced and within your own levels. Having to be detached to make this type of progress one's recognized the quality of reciting in specific orders that liberate in what needs to be processed in our environment. And here, our cleaning qualities with sharing awareness, once that is clearly affirmed, then that integration will be the manifestation that we need. And here, our words, if we don't watch the words we use in our environment, our words will bring us into the odor, into the smell of words we're using, where we might reckon a word a specific quality to what you're saying, but if you're not integrating that with clear foundations, that word, without you maybe knowing, might have a smell in it that is not really in the type of quality you need to be blossoming. So we here in this earth, the way one was saying during the night yesterday, to blossom free from our nerves, our muscles, and our sympathies, into the actions, into the colours that are looking after the nerves, the muscles, and the sympathies. And having read a book called Celestine Prophecy a few years ago, reminds me, with respect to aggressive behaviour, that even the person that is aggressive, they're also a victim of being aggressive. So if a person is a victim of a person that's being aggressive to them, they're also being an aggressor because they're causing a person to be aggressive to them. And I was saying this early hours of the morning today, in the fresh air, to the monitors around me, to the individuals around me, monitoring, acting like they're not monitoring, whatever, that whatever we do to individuals is a reflection of our own aloof, lack of clear knowledge of who we are. So people that act aggressive around me are only reflecting their own victim in their own actions. And this goes all over the world. So whoever's out there flexing up themselves in the world, they're only reflecting that somebody's pissing them off. And as a species with technological awareness, we're in a position to raise above these types of repetitive actions through preventing the behavior of these types of motions entering in existence. And we do that by having the awareness in ourselves of what's cool and what's not cool in our vibes. Here, where I've mentioned the masters before, where we're able to integrate the qualities of the masters to keep us away from having to enter into these same over-emotional sympathies, nerves and muscles that the individuals that are ignorant around us create for themselves, and in turn might get a reaction from us, be aggressive to them by telling them off, or being a victim ourselves on one level because we have to take it in by what they're going through. So once we learn to recognize that this is a program really that is created by people that always get nervous and always are getting all muscly, and people that are always getting all in the sympathies, as they haven't studied in themselves that when you look deeper in yourself, that your actions and the colours around your actions is what really orchestrate what's going on in your nerves, in your muscles, and also in your sympathies. Once these types of emotions have been mastered through genuine students, then the technology you've got in your pocket, be it a Vodafone or a computer and a Vodafone in your pocket, will be worthy of being in your hands. Instead of having this phone in your hand, but you're not really aware of your own nerves, your own muscles, your own sympathies as individuals in a modern, progressive, improving intelligence system. Here today, one looked at an ancient calendar, a Mayan calendar, and one looked at the date today, the way it's related to the English calendar, and it related to what one has been saying to individuals around me with respects to synchronizing who you are with powers around you that are synchronized in that type of frequency that you're synchronized in. Before, when I was talking with respects to before, one had a lot of golden emotions in one's head. So I was speaking through that frequency in the other videos, and I had a lot of stress there going in there. But now one's cleaned that emotion with mineral water. I'm in a position now to speak through that experience with also the experience of having had that golden water in me, and the way it's helped me generate to the way I'm speaking now. So, with respects to the contamination that's all over the world, what's going on, having already created foundations on camera with the golden water on me, now one has a shield inside me of that experience, with the clearer waters now on top of that, as a foundation for myself, for the community, for the globe, universe around me. That's the level where individuals in the present now that do practice viewing what I'm doing and all that, and trying to make their own raises around me, is they need to see, they've got to look into their own foundations as individuals with what they're doing around me on that level, or they're just going to sink deeper into their own sense of insecurity of who they are and with what they're viewing. Here now, being in a position to eradicate clearer the neglect in our environment. And this is through individuals themselves that haven't really taken note and been able to integrate their own qualities of understanding with what they've experienced, through what they've been hearing in their environment. If you're cleaning your body nowadays, and whatever you're eating, whatever you're drinking, if you're not giving yourself no value to that, then it's going to sink you down into that type of person, into that kind of into that type of category. So if you're not taking note clearly of the qualities of the way you're eating and drinking, that's only going to be affecting your environment around you. Each individual needs to take that responsibility and needs to be guided on how to do it properly. And they need to be humble about that. And if you're not humble about that, then you're only going to land yourself into this category of being one of those people that acts like they're humble around what they eat and drink, but they're not really. And they don't also associate with the way they eat and drink and the way they sleep and the way they dream, or if they dream, or if they don't dream. And if they don't dream, why don't they dream? So there's a lot of neglect here in our environment, where people around me, they don't write their dreams, they don't give a fuck about their dreams, yeah? They're only too busy dreaming how to make money. Or what woman they can get, what man they can get on a woman's level. So women don't focus on them dreaming about how they can have aspirations in their sleep. They're too busy wondering what's on their phone and all that. So if you're doing that type of life, that's your business. That's your level. So I'm moving on the level where I'm generating these type of levels. So don't be pretending or acting like you're generating this type of level, where at night you're not really giving a fuck about you dreaming. And if you did dream, you're not going to write it down in the morning because you don't give a fuck about writing it down, or you don't care about writing it down. So you're not on my level in that way. It's not, you're not on that type of level. If you can't really get on that level, don't be acting around me like you're on that level when you're not. So you've got a lot of people like that. They act on you like they're on your level, but they're not really, really acting on your level. But they act like they are. You've got a lot of these type of people nowadays. That all has to be exercised, moved on from. And that relates again to the supra ego, where individuals again have got this type of ego where they act like they're alright, but they're not really alright because they're not really alright with themselves, with their creator, and how they channel the connection with their creator, with how they channel it with people. And once you are aware of your chakras that relate to your sympathies, your nerves and your muscles, then you'll be in a position to talk better, but not only to talk better, but also know what you're talking about and where it's fucking coming from and where it's fucking going. So a lot of individuals, they are talking, but they don't know where their words are fucking, they don't know where their words are emerging from, they don't know where their words are going, and they don't know where their words are staying. So if you're talking to somebody, you act like you care for them, that I love you and all that, and I care for you. But if you really care for a person, you don't know where where your words that you're saying to them out of your own mouth are merging from, and where they're going out of your mouth, and what they're looking to lead to in this moment, then you're not really helping them at all. You're just having a little chit-chat with them. You're having a little chitty-chat-chat with them. An intelligent person, while you're talking to them like that, you might reckon you're smart because you're just giving them a little this talk, a little that talk, a little that talk. But the person that is a little more intelligent will know you're just giving them this little, oh, I'm giving you this little this and little that, and they'll just say to you, all right, if that's the way you are, that's the way you want to go on, that's the way you want to kind of, that's the way you reckon I'm intelligent, I'm more intelligent than that. But if you reckon that's the way I am intelligent, where you can just keep me on this little surface, all right, I'll speak to you this way. I'll speak to you on this level if you want to speak to me this way. So you have people, again, they may not tell you that they know you're just keeping them on this little surface, and you can go on like this way for years with some people. You know, and I'm clearing away from all these types of levels of individuals that act like they're on a level with you, on a level, but they're not really on a level with you. They're not, because they're not really a level with themselves. Yeah? So these types of deceptive individuals in the environment are naturally being cleared off because it's just the way it is, and this is where everything is progressing into a lighter level of who we are and what we need to say. In this level of talking, one can create space for me to breathe, for me to reflect on what I'm going to say, and have freedom in that way to give healing in the environment through the experiences one's been going through. And with respects to knowing ways of how to bring new levels of intelligence into a civilization, is to keep true to the roots, so to speak, of your experience. That way, the channel for expressing values repeatedly in the way I'm doing this brings a fresh, vibrant existence. Bringing the sequences of nature, talking about nature with yoga and with having value of nature brings better quality in the environment. When I walk up the street, pigeons ask me for my autograph. Seagulls fucking salute me. Crows fucking salute me. Magpies fucking salute me. So that's our level. To raise above being too sympathetic, too nervous, too muscly. Because if you are being too muscly, or too nervous, or too sympathetic, somebody's messing around with your vibe. You've got to raise above these levels and don't let people bring you down by letting them make you too emotional, too nervous, too muscly. That way you can stay in the colours of your actions and enjoy them. Enjoy doing your artwork. Enjoy watching a good movie, because they're all related to art, to colours, and to actions. So that's our level, really. It's not to be keep on generation to generation passing it on to our children. Now it's your time to get nervous. Now it's your moment to get sympathetic. Now it's your moment to get all muscly. But you can generate a frequency that is higher than that by seeing a person's actions, avoiding aggressive behavior, because you can see the action before the integration manifests itself. That way we can avoid all the repetitive, destructive behaviors that our parents before us keep on repeating around us. They keep on testing me every moment they can get, to see if they can get me nervous, see if they can get me all sympathetic, to see if they get me all muscly. They keep on testing me whenever they can test me. But I'm aware that on a deeper level, our actions are deeper than that, and so are our colours. Once you improve these actions in yourself, and colours in yourself, then you'll be free from individuals putting your emotions into these lower levels. Now, one is in a position to look at this video and feel a little better through the struggle that I've been through in the other videos. But that type of fight of sharing your awareness with people is always going to be looking to be exercised, as individuals around haven't got the experience, the foundations of what they might be doing, but they're doing them anyway. And slowly they'll have to realize they'll have to return right to the bottom with the way they've been doing what they're doing. So if you are going to make a big house, make sure the second brick has the same strength as the first one, because maybe that house will just fall down. So once your experience have these types of foundations, then you'll be in a position to better integrate the qualities of who you are with what you're doing. And in that experience, individuals themselves you won't have to tell them to correct the way they are, because their own system in themselves will show them that if they don't correct the way they are in a universe that is generating this type of power, to stop getting all over emotional, over nervous, over muscly, and to raise yourself above that into qualities that you're supposed to be doing that are really more subtle and more relaxed. But if we are eating nutrition that we don't reckon will make us aggressive, but it will, then we've got to really recognize clearly that is it really worth me eating specific nutrition that will make me aggressive to myself or individuals around me. So here again, we need to identify these behaviors and our attitude around that, with what we do with that. And that relates to our sexual power, where if we don't consciously recognize that it's a creative force to help nourish us and give us self-esteem, instead of being just a force for you to have physical intercourse with a person, it's also a force to look after you and to generate qualities in your senses, in your reason. That needs to be affirmed clearly in this type of new technological world, that our sexual power is also a creative, nourishing power that has the possibility to be experienced without having to ejaculate. So that needs to be cleared in this type of planet we're living in, because it's been having a detrimental effect in relationships, because people haven't been given this clear awareness of their own qualities and the way they've been brought up since they were children, that they can just treat their bodies any way they want to, because nobody shows you or guides you of how to know your own subtle bodies better. And this is going on with women, with men, but not with everybody in that way. And even ones that do know about how to maintain this type of chi, like some of these martial artists, they know how to keep this chi to give them strength and energy, but it doesn't mean they know how to protect people from people fucking with other people. So you might have enough vibe knowing your chi to protect yourself, but you can't protect them dogs that are being eaten and beaten up to death, can you? So I'm on a level where what I'm doing, I want to be able to make a difference for them fucking animals. With what I'm doing. I just want to be fucking just doing my thing and saying, oh look, I can juggle all these balls, look at me. Animals are being slaughtered and people are being slaughtered over there. The way it's been done before. So we need to create our specific defenses, weapons, to prevent a person getting killed. So before a person reckons, I'm going to kill that man, you already have helped that person to see in themselves, is it worth you doing life for killing that man? For something that's not really got that much to do with you. The person sees that while he's sleeping. He sees, fuck that shit. Kelly's right. I'm going to kill that man, do fucking life for that motherfucker. Making me more a victim than he is. He's already a victim himself. Now I'm going to make me a victim with him. Fucking killing his ass, beating his ass to death, whatever. Or her ass. So this is our level. We're in a position to raise ourselves, protect ourselves in a level where these types of lower level beings, be it through script, through over acting smart yoga practitioners, politicians, priests, whoever they be, clearing these from these types of individuals. Here, returning to the creative principle, the sexual quality, there are individuals out there that don't recognize that their own sexuality relates to being creative. They relate their sexuality with just having a baby or having the pleasure of sex. But your sexuality is also about nourishing you, making you feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, or green, or blue. It's the same principle. Once that's properly in a new, proper existence, affirmed in this world, the people around us will be better with themselves. But if that's not affirmed, that the sexuality doesn't have to mean that you have to have that type of creative but also destructive experience, then we're going to have people around repeating these same, getting nervous, getting all muscly and putting all the sympathy into a situation. So here, from the beginning of our upbringing, once we've been guided the appropriate principles of our creative energy, then we won't be getting all excited and hopping around like we don't know left from right. As our own creative principles will be channeled for guiding individuals that are looking this type of peace of mind, peace of body, all over the world. And through the world being a very populated type of world, the way it is in a lot of ways, then this type of practice needs to be deeper initiated for freedom from people that try and make individuals aggressive because of their own misdeeds. And one way is to stop people making us aggressive to them is through us being aware of ways how to prevent these types of individuals that have got this weakness in themselves, that they try and put that weakness they've got in themselves in us, because they're weak in the way they go on. So they want to try and weaken us up by getting us to beat them up and make us look like we're this aggressive beast. The individuals that have just been fucking bringing out this type of aggressive vibe out of us. So we need to master from individuals that turn us aggressive towards them and towards ourselves. Once we're in a position to do that, and we relate that to the way we individuals use their sexuality. So if nobody's shown you how to respect your sexuality growing up as a child, then you might go on any way you choose in your own way to behave to people, because nobody showed you any better. If nobody's shown you any better, then you just got to do what you reckon you can do. So we need to liberate ourselves immediately from this repetitive behavior that women are doing, the way they show themselves off to man, like they want to know, but they don't really want to know really, but they're just showing off to you. Like they want to know, but they don't really want to know. And all that. And that goes same for men that go on like they want to know too. But the men don't really want to go on, but they're just showing off to the woman or showing off to other men in specific ways. So either you're a genuine seeker of truth, or you just fucking showing off or idol worshipping. And I was saying to one's friend, companion, that idol has also another meaning, which is lazy. So, but if you don't know English very good, like the Chinese or Japanese, you can fuck with them. You tell a Japanese man or Chinese man, oh, you know what, you idol that fucking Bruce Lee, don't you? And the Chinese one will tell you, oh yeah, I love Bruce Lee, I do. But again, don't let him make you lazy, eh? Don't let Bruce Lee make you lazy now, right? So, but don't let martial artists make you too extreme, like I've seen in some of these videos. So you don't want to be lazy with the idol, but you don't want to be too extreme either. So we are in this frequency where we need to raise above these types of behaviors. And once we do that, to the power of our own nourishing eternal love, in that eternal love, the qualities of what you write, of what you read, of the way you talk to your friends, and the way you answer your friends' questions, will surprise them. Once you have this frequency of what I'm saying to you, you can test it out for yourself, just like Sahaja Yoga. You don't have to believe me that there is the cool breeze of the Holy Spirit inside you. You verify that for yourself. You check it out for yourself. You see if it's true. Then if it's true, then you can't say nothing to me, because you can feel it yourself in your own body. So once you have this verification, then it's like it's free from being fake. And once you can enter into that frequency of not letting individuals distract you from that quality of your cool, warm vibe, you're in a position to speak to that cool, warm vibe of who you are with what you've experienced and generate that as a means to an end. It's just the way it is. It's the means to an end. Once you've passed through primary school, you go to secondary school. Once you've passed through secondary school, you go to university. So same with the yoga, with the meditation. Once you learn about the sympathies, the nerves, the muscles, then you get to learn about the chakras. Then you get to learn about the colors. So as human students, if you're a genuine seeker of truth, if you want to learn that, go there. But if you're not on that level, then you're not ready for that. Stay being nervous watching a fucking horror movie. Stay being muscly watching a super action movie. And stay watching a drama movie getting all emotional. If that's your fucking life in this world, that's where you want to stay, getting all emotional watching that movie, or getting all fucking nervous, or getting all over action. That's your level. But you've got a level here where you can see the actions of being free from that, and you can see the colours of being free from that. And once you get to that level, this is what's being processed, then at least people all over the world, in this present now future, be it babies growing up, be it 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, they're in a position to conduct themselves in a better way without picking up all the baggage of their mother and father, because of the way they've neglected their own actions and the way they've neglected their own colours as individuals. The faster we repeat these qualities, our words that we say comes out our mouth, they'll be like the smell of the fucking morning dawn. And that's what we need. We need that dew. We don't need the dew of somebody wanking in our sleep, do we? We want the dew of the dawn, the day. Just like we are in meditation. We don't want to be getting all nervous in our sleep. People messing around with our muscles in our sleep. With our sympathies. We have to clear these type of overweight individuals, say, on one level, where they've got so much weight, they put their weight on other people. Instead of going to the fucking keep healthy fucking sports centre. You want to get rid of that weight? Go there. That's where you're supposed to be. Not putting your weight on me. This is where I'm setting them free. Yeah, take a good walk, go to the park, put your feet up in the air, you know, massage your muscles, do whatever you need to do in that respect. If that's, you know, if your body needs that, that's your level, that's your level. It's not my problem, is it? You're the one that's been eating all them cakes, aren't you? I never put them cakes in your mouth, did I? It's your position to have to exercise them cakes that you've put in your mouth, isn't it? I can't do the exercise for you, love. So this is where it is around us in our environment. Individuals need to take responsibilities for their own pleasures and not try and give pain to people around them from their own pleasures. You're the one that had that cake. You're the one that's overweight. So don't try and put that pain you're feeling now because you're too fucking heavy to fucking walk up the road on a person that hasn't had the fucking pleasure of putting the cake in the mouth like you had, love. You had that cake, I never even see you eat it. And now you're moaning to me about the weight you've got and the pressure you've got on the weight you've created for yourself. So these types of people need to recognise in themselves, you're the one that had that fucking cake. Now you've got to be the one that has to fucking exercise it. But don't be fucking moaning to me about you overweight when you're the one that put it on your own fucking shoulders anyway, aren't you? So what the fuck are you moaning to me about your overweight? Your fucking cake, wasn't it? You ate. So this is what I'm saying, yeah, with our environment. We need to stop all these repetitive scenarios going on. We've got phones now in our hands, yeah, you've got computers now giving you the education, and stop going on like a silly spoiled brat. Yeah? So all these people that like to be fiddling around with the old motions, the old sympathies, the old muscles, people need to see that it's an old school vibe you're on about. Yeah, we passed that scenario now. Yeah, we don't need to be in that kind of vibe no longer. We're going on new levels that are free from these types of non-elevating, eternally creative processes. So like 360 degrees, returning all the good qualities that once championed in the past, today. Bringing these qualities together for fresh new smells, fresh new taste in the way you've been practicing what you're doing. Fortunately, I was advised by one's friend that I don't have to spend so long in the bathroom. So now, I don't spend as long as I spent before in the bathroom. But it doesn't mean because I don't spend as long as I did before in the bathroom that I'm not going to bring the same type of quality of when I did spend long in the bathroom. So if you are good at cleaning yourself, if somebody says to you, look, you were giving me 2 hours before in the bathroom, but I only want you to give me 1 hour now. If you can make that 1 hour in the bathroom like 2 hours, then you can say you've got a master's PhD today. Certified. That shows you that you've been a good student, that you're also a good master, because you're in a position to make 2 hours of cleaning yourself into 1 hour and give it the feeling in that 1 hour like it's 2 hours. So it is embarrassing in this world to see ourselves repeating the same distressing, disturbing, destructive rituals that history before us has already shown us that they're not correct. One wrote a dream one had a couple of days ago. In the dream, one had that one wrote, when I shared that dream with a friend of oneself, one recognized by talking to one's friend about the dream I had that there was a part in the dream that I didn't remember when I wrote it. And in this dream, one see a friend, the friend greeted me in the dream, and one greeted the friend. But as before the friend greeted me, he was a little aggressive to me because he didn't recognize me. He was a bit defensive, and he threw a knife and it missed me, and it hit the side of a door. And as the knife landed on the door on the side, I took the knife of the wall of the door. I took it like that, and I had it in my hand like that. And as the guy looked at me like, "Oh, I recognize who you are now. Sorry, I was just getting a bit defensive. I was just, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know." But then I looked next to me, and the guy that I had with me, because the guy was doing something. He was helping somebody's hair out. He looked like a hairdresser. He was like helping somebody's hair out. So when I looked next to me, one witnessed death next to me. And I looked on my side, and I said to, and Death said to me, "This is a weird friend you've got, Kelly. Throwing a knife at you and then recognizing suddenly when they missed you, and then they recognized that you're a friend of theirs, and then they're like, oh, sorry, and let's have a talk, a conversation." But then I looked at Death next to me, and I said, "Death, you're telling me I've got some weird friends like this hairdresser, but look at you." And Death looked at me and smiled. So here, from a simple dream, one gets the brilliance, the scope of writing a dream, an experience that I had in one sleep, not really remembering all the dream that I had. Then when I've shared it with somebody else, I got to remember there was more to the dream than that. So this is the power, as one was saying before, about the martial arts, about the ninja, about having forces around us that might be protecting us and watching out for us without us even knowing they are. So this is our level as a collective aware being. In that awareness, with the embodiment of correct conduct, and in that you have the fearlessness of the collective awareness that might not be alive around you and might not show you that it's not alive around you. But then later on, depending on the way you're behaving, Might show you later on, you know what, Kel? I was dead around you, Kelly, a few hours ago, and you never even see me. You never even remembered. But I was deaf around you. It's only through speaking to your friend that you remembered me. Thanks very much. All the secrets are true.